Located just off the square of Potsdam Platz in Berlin, Germany, is this memorial to the thousands of European Jews who were murdered during the terrible ordeal of World War II. This murder and this kind of terrible onslaught on a culture started earlier than the war, of course. Hitler took power in 1933, and the Jews were already beginning to be rounded up by Hitler and his Nazi crew. Later, Germany made a cultural decision to honor the nearly 6 million Jews who were murdered in Europe by not only the German Nazis, but also by the Russians. This leads me to some thoughts about how we should treat others. If you don't agree with me religiously, that still gives you no right to murder me. It gives you no right to make fun of me or to lessen my importance as a human. You have a right to your faith beliefs, as do I do. As we travel the world, we need to remember these concepts. Not to make fun of somebody by the way they believe, but understand that they have that right even if we disagree with them. What's most important is that you don't need to let anybody threaten your beliefs. How you believe is your right. Religiously, politically, those are your rights. But on the other hand, you have no right to force your beliefs on someone else. If they ask you, you can gladly tell them. It's important for us as we look over this monument today here in Berlin, Germany, to remember that all around the world there are people who act a little differently, live a little differently, speak a little differently, and yes, spiritually believe a little bit differently than we do. Hold on to your beliefs, because I understand that gives you strength of character and most of the time strength of value and purpose. But don't try to dissuade others. This has been Dr. David Lucas from the heart of Berlin, Germany, talking to you just a little bit. We call these segments Tips and Tidbits. This one is probably a little bit more of a memorial to all the Jews and those of the Jewish faith who have been murdered and who have lost so much. We take just a moment now to step out of the camera to give you a moment of memory, a moment of pause.